Hello crypto world, welcome to the Chart Historian. My name is Justin, and on this channel I delve deep into crypto charts, exploring chart structures, fractals, and patterns. So today I have the XRP chart open, and I'd like to just give a quick update on how this chart is coming together. Now in my previous video, or a previous video I discussed the current status of this fractal right here. Now, this is the termination fractal, if you will, of a XRP declining structure. This structure has played out numerous times in the XRP chart. It takes place whenever there is a large-scale correction. It's comprised of roughly 6 sections or subsections. Sometimes there's only 5, but this here, where it goes down like this, has this little peak right here, and then it does this arch or swoop down to a capitulation point. Normally this swoop down goes lower than this part right here. So if we go back to the very first bull run and large-scale correction, we can see this fractal at play at the end of this declining structure. So it's right here. And if we zoom in on it, you can see it has those same distinctive characteristics where it moves up, comes down, has that little peak right there, and then it does that swoop down to a capitulation point. There are 2 fundamental ways that this fractal plays out. It can be more horizontal like this, or if you zoom in over here, come over here, it plays out again at the end of this decline right here. It plays out right here where, let's zoom in, again it moves up, comes down, has that little peak right there, and then that swoop down to a capitulation point. However, this one is slightly more on a vertical axis. So those are 2 common ways it has played out throughout history, a horizontal axis or a more vertical axis. I believe what we are looking at could be, it's definitely more horizontal. Now we don't know how low this swoop will go. However, there is some interesting things that I have observed. In fact, I noted them on a previous video. So if you take this part right here and copy and paste it to the current size that it is right here, you'll see that it's very similar. So here is that same fractal stretched out to this to the size of this current structure right here. So this little part right here is this, and then as you can see it moves up here. It even does this little wave here, comes back up, goes sideways, and then it starts on its decline. Now here it looks like it's doing something different, and I actually believe that it could move up just not a ton, but it could move back up before continuing on into its decline. So the bigger picture here, this little picture is a possible indication of what this completed structure may end up looking like. This one has a decent decline here. Now it may not be as exaggerated as this, but so far we do have a blueprint that it has been following. Now I believe this structure is what will cause it to complete this structure. Let me make them 2 different colors. So this purple one is the one that I copy and pasted right there. This blue one is the original 2013 one, the very first one that ever took place. So let me hide this one right here. So I think that purple one, the one that was right here, is in essence going to do the same thing. It's going to come down. I don't know how low it'll come down, but it is a localized version of this original one, if you will. Now, I actually believe that we are probably closer to somewhere here. So I think it could move up a little, and then at some point it's going to have there's a good chance that it will do something like this, more of a drastic drop, just like it did here. But folks, that is not a bad thing, because as soon as it gets to that capitulation point, XRP moves into a new phase. And that phase is more of a range-bound kind of sideways time before it goes into its next bull run. That range-bound time leads in to the next bull run, or it brings us to the point where the next bull run starts. That's always happened. I would be surprised if it doesn't happen. And I should also mention that there is one instance where this swoop down actually stopped right around here. Now, that happened once, and it was a very odd looking version of this fractal, but hey, there's historical precedent for that, so we can see there is a possibility we can see something like that, if maybe we'll get lucky. There's also another precedent where it comes down here and does a little bounce and then goes back up. So when it moves into that next phase, it'll come back up. I don't know how high it will go, but it will not be a massive bull run. So that's just a quick little update on this fractal right here. It's the termination fractal. We are, as you can see, we have completed a large portion of it. It seems to be going a bit slower, and that is quite normal. In some of these declines, in the beginning, it goes through the different phases of the decline quite fast, but as it nears its end, it kind of drags out and slows down a bit. So I think we're experiencing some of that. You can see that phenomenon take place of slowing down more drastically in this 2018 peak and decline right here. It went through some of these parts of the decline very rapidly. In fact, you have to go into a smaller time frame to really see it. But once it starts getting here, it slowed down. So folks, we are at the end portion, or getting close to the end portion. I believe we are closer maybe to here. We've accomplished so far the lion's share of this fractal. We're just missing that part where it goes down. How far it goes down is yet to be seen. But as soon as it gets to that point, we start a new phase in the XRP chart. You know, if you find this type of analysis interesting, where I deep dive into chart structures and examine the fractals and patterns of the chart, you should hit that subscribe button, because you'll be notified of when I put out new videos. I put out videos on a regular basis. You can also follow me at Chart Historian on Twitter. I post regularly there as well. You know, one thing that is important to know, I am not a financial advisor, so none of this that I present here should be construed as financial or investment advice. I'm so glad you caught this video. Thank you for watching it. I hope you catch my next one. Have a great day, and bye for now.